Concerns over development along the Great Salt Lake wetlands is now headed to court. Today, two advocacy groups are suing the state of Utah. They claim the Inland Port Authority Board, which is approving the developments, is unconstitutional. Tonight, we're hearing the governor's reaction from news specialist Brian Carlson.
These two groups suing the state are extremely worried about the development for plans here along the Great Salt Lake, replacing tens of thousands of acres with asphalt and concrete. And they say the board behind those plans is in violation of the state constitution, keeping industrial development out of the Great Salt Lake wetlands. The matter now going to Utah's 3rd District Court.
We can't save the Great Salt Lake if we allow the Port Authority to amputate its wetlands.
Brian Munch is the president of Utah's Physicians for a Healthy Environment, one of two advocacy groups now jointly suing Utah, claiming the Utah Inland Port Authority Board approving the development of 95,000 acres along the wetlands is not in line with the Utah Constitution. The lawsuit claims the port functions under Utah's executive branch, but the majority of its members are appointed by the state legislature, which violates the state's separation of powers and makes them unaccountable to taxpayers.
We're not in this because we're constitutional scholars. We're in this to try and protect the public. And the public needs to understand that they're not being protected by the Port Authority's actions.
Munch says developing tens of thousands of acres here will further shrink the lake and add multiple sources of air pollution. When asked about the lawsuit today, Utah Governor Spencer Cox says he hasn't seen it yet, but admits he's fine with more industrial development along the Great Salt Lake.
I've said before, and I'll say it again, this is going to be the most environmentally friendly inland port in the country, and we're committed to make that happen.
Now, Cox and Utah's inland port will have to defend that view in court.
When we are served papers, which we have not been served papers at this point, then we can know exactly what the lawsuit entails. But as of right now, it's just a press release. That's all it is.
Munch claims it's in stark contrast to the danger development poses here.
If the public really knows the details of this, nobody would be in favor of this. And for taxpayers to be footing the bill for it just makes it all the more egregious.
Now, I also reached out to state leadership, who picked 3 of the 5 members on the board. And as of late afternoon, they have not yet seen the lawsuit either. Here at the Great Salt Lake, Brian Carlson, KSL 5 News.